Are you getting bored of Smash Ultimate yet? No? Me neither. And what's almost just as good as playing the game, speculating and discussing who we want to see in Smash. So for you today I will list even more characters that come from franchises that are already present in this game. If you have seen the series before, you know that we are looking at each and every franchise that already has fighters in Ultimate. And look if there are maybe more gems to be found in that series. And is that something that's very likely to happen? No, because Nintendo will probably go for third-party franchises that don't have a presence in Smash yet. But it's fun to speculate and discuss who we want to see. Today we are still not leaving Smash 4 as we are rounding up the last series from that game. So that means that we will pick characters from these franchises. PacMan, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy, Bayonetta and Super Smash Bros. Because you know we have the Mii fighters and they have a separate logo to represent Smash. So we are also going to pick a character from that. And as always, the most fun of this game is your opinion. So be sure to leave your favorites from these franchises in the comments. Don't worry about assist trophies and spirits and all that. Just pick who you want to see. Okay, let's waka waka over to the first character with PacMan. Let's begin with one of our favorite classics, PacMan. It's safe to say that he was a welcome inclusion in Smash, when he made his debut in Smash 4. As he is of course a very recognizable and important staple for the video game industry. And I'm happy that they picked a nice 3D look for him while also incorporating his classic style with many of his attacks. So who would be the best from his franchise to appear in Smash as well? At first glance it doesn't seem that there are that many characters to choose from. But when looking at the list of PacMan characters you will see that there are plenty options available. Especially when you take the 3D games in consideration. But when we have to decide which one is the most relevant or famous fighter, the game only has two clear choices in my opinion. Which would be Miss PacMan and the Ghosts. With the latter one being my personal pick to be included. And don't get me wrong, Miss PacMan could be a great echo for her husband. But there could be some really fun potential with the Ghosts. Of course, we all know the four main ghosts that can be found in a lot of PacMan game variations. You have Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. That name really messes up the rhythm. But anyway, what I would suggest is that just like with Bowser Jr., that instead of making them just different colors, that they could have all alternate skins that are just slightly different from one another. It can make them stand out and give them all their own identity. One could be a girl, while another one is tired, and one is angry for instance. But I see you thinking, there are only 4 ghosts, what about the other skins? Well, there are many other ghosts to be found in the PacMan series that you might have not heard about. What about Spunky? Or Lord Betrayus? Or Kinky? And Dr. Buttocks? They really got creative with the names. And for a moveset there is a great concept from P. Fritz that could work really well. I think it's good to keep it similar to PacMan but make it unique at the same time. A really fun potential addition in my opinion. Street Fighter is known as a franchise with many awesome characters and I would love to see a lot of them making their debut. Like Blanca, the green troll looking dude with electrical attacks would be a perfect fit for Smash. Or what about M. Bison? A huge heavy villain with also a lot of interesting moves. We could always use more of those in Smash. But I think the best addition to Ryu and Ken would be Chun-Li, the first female character to appear in Street Fighter. She needs little introduction and reason why she should get in. The self-proclaimed strongest woman in the world is a force to be reckoned with. And what I like about her is that she is mostly known for her kicking attacks. As her signature move is, and I'm sorry for butchering the word, Hikuratsyaku. Or as Chun-Li says it, thank you very much. Which is a flurry of kicks in one stand. I think this could work very well for Smash, as Ryu and Ken are more all-around strong fighters. But she could be a more agile, quick on her feet character that's also a lot faster than those two, with a bit of a better recovery. We could always use more ladies in Smash, and with Chun-Li I think you have the best one of all of them. She's really significant to the Street Fighter franchise and loved by many. And once again, I don't want to put down any other Street Fighter characters as there is a whole lot of awesomeness to choose from. I'm curious to see what your pick for Smash would be, as I think opinions will be divided over this one. Okay, you are going to hate me for this, but I have to confess something. I have never played a Final Fantasy game in my life. I know, I'm sorry, I never got a game from this franchise as a kid, and literally none of my friends played Final Fantasy at the time. It might be a Dutch thing, although I know a lot of people now who've played it since then. And don't worry, Final Fantasy 7 and 8 are on my backlog to complete. So picking a character from this one would be difficult, but luckily I got the help from you guys. On the previous episodes, many people were looking ahead on what characters to pick for future episodes. So thank you everyone who did that. And one name I kept seeing over and over again was Sephiroth. So I did my research and I have to agree. That would be an awesome pick for Super Smash. For you who don't know, just like I didn't know, Sephiroth is the main antagonist in Final Fantasy VII and is often depicted as Cloud's arch-enemy in other spin-off titles. That's why it would be great to see him in Smash, as you can have Cloud battling it out against his enemy. He is tall, but also fights with a long sword, which would be very interesting to see, as that would give him a massive reach in Smash, which will be fun to balance out. He has also wings. No wait, let me correct that. He has one wing. Don't know how that's going to help him, but it looks very cool. And he is also able to use magic, so that's a whole lot of goodness in one package. I know Square isn't really that fond of using a lot of Final Fantasy stuff in Smash, as can be seen by this single clip, but yeah, we will see. But as I said, I'm not very familiar with this franchise, so please let me know if you think this is a good one, or that others might be more favorable in your opinion. If there is one thing that I really love about the Bayonetta series, then it's the enemies. They are so creative, menacing and scary at the same time. And I think it would be insane and over the top to add some of these in Smash. Like Valor, who is a boss enemy in golden armor, with his face embedded in his shield. Or what about the Affinities, the basic angel enemies from Bayonetta? They use spears to attack you and are very cool to look at. But even though these look really cool, they are just basic enemies. And there are other more obvious picks. And I know the basic enemy idea is also the case for Piranha Plant, but there are already like 100 fighters in Smash from his franchise. No, for me the second fighter from Bayonetta would have to be someone more important to the story. And my vote goes out to Jeanne, Bayonetta's best friend and rival. She looks very similar to her and can use the same moves, so that would make her a perfect Echo character. I mean, she even is unlockable in both games, which changes the gameplay up, but just slightly, as the moves will stay the same. She is serious, aggressive and a very big threat to fight against, and I think she could work perfectly in Smash. It would be cool to see these two fighting it out in our favorite fighting game, and I hope that in the future we will get the chance to do that. Mii fighters have their own logo, so they have their own franchise, which is Super Smash. Which is kinda weird because they were not created for Smash, of course, but that shouldn't matter. There are many elements, characters and creatures to be found in Super Smash that were developed specifically for that game. Just look at the boss enemies, like Master Hand, Giga Bowser and Galeem. It will of course be difficult to add these huge beasts as characters in Smash, so I want to take it back with you. We must never forget where we come from, our past that made us the people that we are. And the same goes for video games. And I fell in love with Super Smash Bros. Thanks to the Nintendo 64, my first console. And that Smash was so much fun. I remember playing what we now call Classic Mode over and over again. Every level was the same and I sure was bad at it. But it was fun to experiment with the different characters that we had. But towards the end we encountered these weird looking creatures that surely looked familiar. They were silent and deadly. The Polygon team. And I would love to see them return as a character. The Polygon team just mimicked other fighters. They would look the same, only with a more pointy purple polygon glaze. It would be fun to me to pick these guys instead of a random character. You would just get a polygon fighter mimicking another person. Just a silent, deadly being. I still think it's also great for 100-man Smash and that kind of stuff, because it really feels like you're fighting against some dark force that's trying to overwhelm you. That's why I also loved Mokujin in Tekken, one character that can mimic them all. But the Polygon boys and girls give the game just a little bit extra, while respecting and taking inspiration from the first Smash game. I would love to see something like this. Here we are again, one more list by your boy Xprev, and now the point that I'm the most excited about. Your opinion. Do you think that I made a good list, or can it go straight in the trash? Let me see your top 5 from the franchises that we talked about today in the comments. And if you are here, you probably like Super Smash and Nintendo. And that's great, because I have a whole lot more content about these topics on the channel right now. And that's not all, there is even more on the way. That's right, a new Super Smash Bros. Series will begin after this one ends. So you can see even more Smash character lists. All you have to do is click that subscribe button and you'll be the first to know when that releases. It also makes you instantly my friend. And I need friends, so that's really cool. You can also follow me on Twitter for more information. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you next time.